Harry Kane is not cursed, and he's going to win some trophies with Bayern Munich. Welcome to the Always Bayern Chelsea show. This is episode number 22, and it's also a video episode, so head over to the YouTube channel Always Bayern Chelsea if that's not where you are already watching or listening to this. Here at Always Bayern Chelsea, we typically do a more radio podcast style of program, so feel free to listen to that, check it out if you want to, or check out some of our other YouTube videos. We really appreciate you just taking the time to listen or to watch. My name's Danny. I'm the Bayern Munich side of Always Bayern Chelsea. Let's jump right in because I've got some things to say about our striker Harry Kane. Kane is the best striker in the world and arguably one of the best players in the world. After last season, 2023-2024, I would make that argument, I'll tell people that he's the best player in the world. But let's start this video off with kind of a background about who Harry Kane is and what his career has been so far. So Harry Kane's professional career started in 2009 with Tottenham Hotspurs in the English Premier League. And over his illustrious career with Spurs, he scored over 400 goals for club and country. He also captains the England national team. Kane also has the most goals ever for England as well as for his old club, Tottenham Hotspurs. Now, in 2023, Kane made the move over to Bayern Munich, went over to Germany, and a lot of people will say that he was looking for a trophy, and I'm sure that is true because one of the biggest criticisms of his career so far is that he hasn't won a trophy. And obviously, soccer is a team sport, Even the Ballon d'Or, the most prestigious individual award in the sport, really requires you to have team success. So Kane joins Bayern Munich, the team that has won the Bundesliga since 2011-2012, and alas, his first season at the club, he goes trophyless. The team goes trophyless. And instantly, the media lashes out at him, critics, trolls, whatever. You see it everywhere. You can't open up Twitter, or I guess it's being called X now. You can't open it up without seeing people making fun of Kane for not winning a trophy. And making lighthearted jokes is one thing. However, unfortunately, with the way that traditional football media works, as well as the social media age nowadays, it's kind of hard to decipher trolls and just media storylines from the actual truth of the matter, especially if you aren't watching Kane play every single week. And so that's actually one of the reasons why my buddy Jim and I, who's the Chelsea fan from Always Bayern Chelsea, like to hop on here and just talk about things, because the traditional media in football, as well as Twitter trolls, kind of ruin things, or at least haze up the view with some of these issues. So let's take a look now at Bayern Munich before Harry Kane joined, because the problems at Bayern Munich run much deeper than Harry Kane himself. So Kane comes into Bayern Munich for the 23-24 football season, and he kind of comes into an unstable situation from a leadership standpoint. The board at Bayern Munich is very unstable and going through change. The never-ending cycle of coaches at Bayern Munich is going through a change, and Thomas Tuchel comes in to coach the team. And I also just made a video about what went wrong with Thomas Tuchel at Bayern Munich, so if you'd like a little bit more of a deep dive into that subject in particular, go ahead and check that out. That's right there on the YouTube channel. So in 2022-2023, the season before Kane joined, Bayern Munich won the Bundesliga. However, that was their only trophy that season, and to be honest, they barely won the Bundesliga. They scraped through with 70 points, and the reason why they won the league was basically due to an all-time bottle job by Dortmund. Last day of the year, Dortmund bottles it in the dying minutes of the season. So you could say that Bayern was going into 23-24, the year that they acquired Harry Kane, kind of on some loose and some rocky footing. So Bayern's unstable performance in 23-24 was really the accumulation of a downward spiral that the club was seemingly headed on for the last couple of seasons at least. And the reason for this underperformance obviously wasn't Harry Kane. The reason for this underperformance was really a mixture of things. One of those things being just the tactical changes that Thomas Tuchel brought to the team. And also underperformances from key players in the season and injuries, I'm looking at a guy like Leroy Sané, who was injured for most of the season. There was great instability in the midfield and in the back line with Bayern Munich partially due to Thomas Tuchel's stubbornness maybe, or his personality, and part of it due to injuries that the team sustained. And really the entire winger position was essentially a revolving door of injuries, especially late in the year for Bayern Munich. So you have Tuchel in charge of the squad, and tactically his decisions were a little bit baffling at times, to say the least, I guess. Tuchel's tactics really just didn't fit Bayern Munich. They weren't aggressive enough, especially for the Bundesliga. Tuchel has the U-ball style of play, Tuchel ball, and that passive, less aggressive style of play where Bayern would maybe get a goal and then just kind of lock down and try to play defense. It really didn't work in the Bundesliga, to be frank. Bayern has the talent to be aggressive all the time and to just really slaughter teams and put plenty of goals on the board. But Tuchel didn't want to play like that. He didn't want to play like that with Harry Kane, as I mentioned at the top of the video, the best striker in the world, the man who can score goals left and right. So Tuchel would have Kane drop back and honestly facilitate play instead of be the one who was getting passes and getting crosses in the box. Kane would drop back and play defense. He still had 44 goals and 12 assists, still scored 36 goals in the Bundesliga. He still had a historic season. So that just shows, to me at least, how much of an all-around team player and really superstar that Kane is. That's tied for the fourth most amount of goals in all of Bundesliga history, and keep in mind it was Kane's first season, again coming into an unstable situation, playing this role that necessarily didn't suit him scoring goals. And to be quite honest, if it wasn't for Harry Kane, I think Bayern Munich would have finished maybe 6th in the Bundesliga, probably behind Dortmund or right around that spot. Kane almost single-handedly carried the team to any amount of success that they had in 23-24. And the other thing I wanted to mention too is that Kane really showed up in big moments during the season for Bayern Munich. He scored in the Champions League quarterfinals against Arsenal. He scored in the Champions League semifinals against Real Madrid while being hurt. So as I'm recording this, the Euros are taking place. England is still alive, although they haven't looked very good, to be honest. Harry Kane scored in the first knockout round, the round of 16, in extra time to push England over the edge and carry them into the quarterfinals. That's just another example of Kane showing up in a big moment. And regardless of what happens at the Euros, because that might be a discussion for another video, it doesn't seem like Southgate is necessarily the man for the job, but we'll see, Maybe Kane, the captain, will do something magical again. But ultimately, Kane will win a trophy with Bayern Munich. He had an incredible season last year, really carried the team at points, and I just think the media narrative and the trolls can kind of distort the view of what Harry Kane really is, and I would implore anybody out there to watch him, to watch Bayern Munich next season. I think it's going to be a fun season. There's going to be some change with the squad, that's for sure. But I'm looking forward to watching Kane, every week as I do, and cheering him and the boys on. So thank you for watching this video. Thank you for listening if that's what you're doing. It really means a lot to me and to Jim, the other half of Always Bayern Chelsea. So if you enjoy this video essay style of a video, this format, leave us a comment, tell us that. As always, if you want to subscribe or follow on the podcasting platforms and do all that good stuff. So thanks again for listening. Go Harry Kane, go Bayern, Mia San Mia.